Hi, I'm Alan Ross, Managing Editor of APC Media. We are here at the 2026 IEEE PES T&D Show. We're with the Trench Group here at IEEE PES T&D. So, Dr. Bahadir, you are the CEO of the Trench Group, correct? You're coming to America. You know, there's a movie about that, so we should take your movie. But tell us a little bit about what you think is happening in the United States.
Well, like in the rest of the world, Ross, the age of electron also has started in America, in North America, in the US. So in principle, there are three big things going on. It's the modernization of the grids.
Right.
The grids are outdated. Secondly, it's the huge 765 kV ultra high voltage build out of the transmission lines that is now starting, that has started. And number three, we have a huge surge for electricity driven by data centers in particular. And all three elements, all three drivers are being tackled, also by Trench, supporting the local grid industry and the transmission lines of the US to be fit for the future.
Okay. We're standing here at a model. Tell me a little bit about this model in Charlotte, North Carolina, and how important the US market is to Trench.
Well, let me start with the second part of your question, Ross. The US market is becoming very important for Trench. It has always been an important part.
Yeah.
But this year, and our fiscal year is now half over, roughly 50% of our new orders account for point of destination North America. And a lot of that to the US. We took a bold decision and said we will build a full-fledged dry type bushing factory in the US, in Charlotte, North Carolina. And we are deploying a substantial amount of capital, and we're moving fast, Ross. We took that decision in February 2025, and already this year in February, we had a soft opening of the first part of the factory in Charlotte, and we will have the full-fledged opening, the grand opening, by end of July this year, and we will be starting production of what a customer just told me, a very important customer here, transformer manufacturer, probably the best bushing technology you have ever seen, HSP design brought to the US, to North America.
We're standing at a model here. It's going to be hard to see it, but I've had an invite to come to the grand opening because I live in Atlanta. So Niels was at one of your clients, and the client talked to, because I said, hey, I'm going to be in IEEE and I'm going to meet Trench. And the client, which was Virginia Transformer, right? We were at their grand opening, and guess what we saw? We saw Trench.
Yes.
It was really important. So we'll be there in Charlotte. Talk to me a little bit about the AI data center boom.
Well, that's a kind of a small game changer in our industry, Ross. We are now starting to deal with different customers. We are interacting directly with the hyperscalers. So they bring a totally different view into our industry. They are also bold in their decisions. And this actually helps our industry to move faster in general. With this huge demand, also our traditional customers, the TSOs, they need to change the way they're working. And we're seeing that being done by the hyperscalers. And of course, there's a race going on between the hyperscalers. Whoever is first on the grid is the first to train the AI models and is going to be having an advantage in this whole competition.
Excellent, excellent. Well, we're going to go meet somebody else. I think we're meeting Klaus, and Klaus is the Chief Sales Officer. You're the CEO. We're going to meet Klaus, and then we're going to meet Peter, who's the Chief Technology Officer. But welcome to America, Dr. B. Dr. B is what I call you.
Thank you. Thanks. Appreciate it.
My next guest is Klaus Merklein. He is the Chief Sales Officer for Trench Group. Yeah. So Klaus, I talked to Dr. B and he talked about you guys are coming to the United States. Yeah. You've already been in the United States as a market. Talk to me about the 765 market, why it's important.
Yeah, I mean, 765 will be the new backbone for the US grid. And we see really a massive uptake of the interest. I mean, all the different utilities are now getting into that business. Why is there a need for that? I mean, I think it's pretty clear that we have all this additional electricity demand. We are seeing the artificial intelligence is booming, data centers are popping up, renewable energy coming into the grid. And in the end, of course, also grid modernization is a key topic here in the US. All of that basically needs a very strong backbone, and that's actually what 765 stands for. And that's pretty exciting. And I think that's been a trend over the last 2 years, which has really rapidly developed now.
So you've been providing product to the United States already. Yes. This is now you're going to be providing product from the United States to North America.
Correct.
Frankly.
Absolutely.
Without talking about the technology, talk a little bit about this and that, because I call this the tall boy. What do you call it?
That is actually a CVT, technically speaking. Yeah. So it's a measurement device. Right. I mean, we need, to operate the grid, you need to know the data, you need to know the conditions of the grid, and that's actually what the CVT is doing. So measuring voltage, and that's a very important one. And I mean, measuring is one activity, the other one is compensating. Yeah. So particularly with all the fluctuating in the grid, I mean, renewable infeed and so on, you need also to compensate, and that's the coils and the reactors we are having. So actually both of them have a quite key role in the,
Excellent. Grid connection. So Trench has got a lot of, pedigree. Right, you would say that pedigree. Yeah. Why Trench, and what's unique for the customer? Yeah. What's unique for Trench coming into the 765?
I mean, I think we have been one of the pioneers of high voltage business from the very beginning, with more than 130 years of history. And for all of our 3 product lines, which is bushings, instrument transformers, and the coils, we have been basically inventing that. And with our customers together over the centuries, basically then developed that into the grids. And that also, I mean, of course, starting at the lower end, but over the years, we have been very active also in high voltage, including also HVDC. And when you look today at our installed base, we have more than 4,000 units at 800 kV level. Okay. Not particularly in the US, of course, but a lot in India, in Brazil, in the European part of the grid. So global presence and a lot of footprint actually, based on the last decades of experience. But even when talking about the US and North America in particular, Canada is operating a 800 kV grid, and we have been one of the key suppliers there, but also the lines that are already existing in the US. We have our products there since the 1970s. So we have kind of 50 years experience in the highest voltage levels also in the US.
Well, welcome to America.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Okay, my next guest is Peter.
Nice to meet you.
Give me that last name again. Dopplmair. I got it. Okay. Peter is the Chief Technology Officer for the Trench Group. So talk a little bit about some of the technology. First this is huge and tall. What are we looking at here?
This is our 765 kV CVT. Okay. So it's used for voltage measurement in transmission grids. And of course, it's now fully available for the 765 kV challenges we are seeing upcoming in the US. So we're producing at lower voltage levels already for decades, but also at this voltage level we are producing already, but not for the US yet.
Technology-wise, how important is the 765 network that's being built in the US?
I think it's of utmost importance. It's when you have to move these huge amounts of power in an efficient way, it's absolutely needed to go up in voltage level. So for example, a 765 kV line can transport as much power as 65 kV lines. So six exactly.
Yeah. So there's also a commitment now to transmission that wasn't there before. And is that part of the reason why your technology fits with what's happening in North America?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So Trench has quite an experience. So not in the US, as I said, but there are other countries have already using this for a while, the 765 and above. So we are having roughly 4,000 units at 765 kV already in service for years with amazing experience.
Throughout the world or in the US?
Not in the US. In the US, not yet. Some in the US, yes. At some of the utilities, there's a particular one utility already which has deployed 765 kV. but there are other countries in the world doing 765 kV already.
I like to say that we have a race to finish 765, and talk a little bit about that, because the technology that it requires is different than what we've built before, right? Yeah. But in that race to do it, talk about Trench's advantage.
Yeah, I think I mentioned it a little bit already. Yeah. So it's the experience. Okay. So we already gathered experience over several decades in this voltage class.
Right.
Because the challenges, especially when it comes to electrical challenges, stress challenges, they are not growing linear with voltage, they're growing exponential with voltage. Okay. So it's very important to have also long-term experience, and this is of course what we can bring. And of course,
it's called the hockey stick.
Exactly. Yeah, it's something like that. You're right. Okay. You're right.
Good. We're going to go talk to you about another technology. Yeah. Let's move over there.
Okay. Good.
So Peter, we're over here at another technological marvel. Tell me a little bit about this.
So this is a model of a 245 kV shunt reactor.
Okay.
So which is used for voltage control in electrical transmission systems. Yeah?
Okay. But this is not for the 765 now.
No, it's showing a 245,
okay.
But we are also ready at 765 kV with the product, exactly.
And that's coming out of the Charlotte facility?
No, this is not coming out of the Charlotte facility. Okay. This would come out of our Toronto facility.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
North American?
North American still.
Okay, that's excellent. I grew up in Toronto, so I have a special love. The technology that Trench brings to the whole 765, we've talked about it a little bit, but there's an advantage that you've got probably over the competition. Well, if you had one thing that you would say is the most important technical advantage, what would it be?
As I said before, it's the stresses you're running at are exponentially growing compared to lower voltage levels, and the aging mechanisms, how an insulation system ages. Right. You need a long time to know how it's really working. So it's again the long-term experience we are bringing in, and how the material and how the stresses are evolving over time in the equipment.
Okay.
Which you can more or less, it's applicable for all our products, right. Not only for shunts or bushings or CVTs.
Okay, excellent. Thank you so much, Peter.
Thank you very much. Thank you.